Let's go over all the news that happened this week since E3. Tetsuya Nomura had an interview with Famitsu talking about Strangers of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin. People were really harping on me about this game, saying that this game looks like dog poo-poo. Look at this, it's like a PS2 character ass looking game, PS3 graphics, this is dog poo-poo. How could I be so excited for this game? As I was saying, my excitement obviously comes from the fact that we could get remixes of other Final Fantasy games. It's in this interview that we found out some interesting things. Many people were complaining about how these guys do not look like the Warriors of Light. Who the hell are they? Well, we learned that the name Strangers of Paradise actually refers to Jack and his friends here to fight chaos.
We're here to kill chaos. Kill chaos.
They find themselves in the world and events of Final Fantasy 1, but even in an interview saying that, are these the guys really the Warriors of Light? That's something we're gonna have to find out through the game. So it's not only just a weird reimagining of Final Fantasy 1, but these characters are dropped into its world like an isekai. That's why they're the Strangers of Paradise. So okay, Eminem and his crew just got dropped in this world. It makes sense. And as Kotaku put it in a hilarious article, which I usually don't slam on Kotaku because I don't find any value in it. It's too easy. Jack, the Final Fantasy Origin normie fuckboy. He gets different armor as you playing different classes and stuff like that. Maybe they haphazardly find themselves in this world and become the Warriors of Light. Yeah, it's weird as hell to see him show up in a jeans and a t-shirt, but it seems like from this interview that was the point. So even though, as Kotaku puts it, this game would have been enjoyed a much better reception from fans had Square Enix revealed the game with a lead looking maybe 30% less fuckboy. This is definitely an article written by Chaos. He didn't want to be in this world. He never wanted to be the Warrior of Light. Okay, this is just a weird ass game. I can't help but be excited for it. This is the weirdest shit ever. You know what? Screw everyone. Jack's design is based as fuck, man. This is a Final Fantasy game. Dude shows up looking like this. It's a fantasy game. I like the mix between a normal looking ass dude finding himself in this setting and putting on these clothes. I'm excited to play it, even though Jack looks like every white dude with a buzz cut, main hero that we saw from over 10 years ago. But another article that everyone was dunking on Kotaku for that they put out was saying that Breath of the Wild 2 shouldn't have weapon destruction or weapon durability. And I'm sure you can imagine why this started a flame war. And as a big, super intelligent person that talks about game design but doesn't actually know anything about game design, weapon durability was great in Breath of the Wild. Everyone brings up the fact, you know, it makes you change your weapon, so you gotta change your playstyle. For me, I was much more creative with the Sheikah Slate because I was trying to save my durability for weapons. So I would opt to use more cryo and stasis and find out really crazy things with magnesis and bombs and stuff like that. Stuff I would never try if I could just find a rare weapon and then use it for the rest of the game. Also, if weapons never broke, then they would have had to scale for this as well with the enemies, meaning that certain areas of the game are just locked because, well, you don't have a good enough weapon that scales to the difficulty or progression. This weapon breaking system actually balances it very well to have a player be able to just go into a random zone and kick ass through their skill. It's not only that you keep playing, that you can hoard on crazy ass weapons that you really feel like you jumped in power, because you can get crazy ass weapons at an early point in the game and then save it as you go along. But imagine if you just got that crazy ass weapon and then, well, there you go, you have it now. The actual progression of the difficulty would have to be completely changed if you could just keep a weapon. So yeah, the breaking ability allowed for players to just go everywhere because the scaling of difficulty was matched with the fact that if you find a good weapon, well, it could break after a few uses. So yeah, there's your dunk. What a bad gamer take, right? Guys, give me more hot gamer takes. I want to do a whole video on this. This is fun. Another piece of news is that there's a report about the release date of PlayStation VR 2 coming to us through Bloomberg speaking to an insider. Yeah, I'm sure we can expect it after all. Bloomberg kept talking to insiders for the Switch Pro. This insider comes from Japan Display Inc., who talked to Bloomberg about LCDs used in VR headset. This company went from the phone marketplace to VR, where the higher resolution of their LCD is needed for a VR headset versus OLED display that was used previously in VR headsets. Wow, they're going back to LCD, I guess. But from this, we learned that the PSVR 2 will not be coming out this year. Holiday 2022 is the reported release date. The controllers for PlayStation VR 2 have already been shown, so it wouldn't surprise me if we could see a release as late as that, in a year and a half. But as always, take these reports with a grain of salt. My main concern is that I can even get a PS5 before holiday 2022. In a big revelation, Scott Cawthon, creator of Five Nights at Freddy, has retired from the role. After 7 years of bringing this game from a quirky little indie game to having a big home console release and a movie, Scott saying how he missed out on a bunch of stuff, spending the last 7 years of his life working hard after the success of FNAF. He has 6 kids now, which he would like to spend more time and make silly little indie games and make RPGs, even though he stinks at it, he says. Scott thanks the LGBTQ plus community personally for all the support that they showed him. Now this is interesting because many believe that this is the reason why he stepped retire. There's been a recent controversy where it was seen that he was donating donating to Republican groups. And you know, you can't be a Republican these days. So he's not canceled or anything. He just
retire.
Maybe the timing is just coincidence. And thank you, Scott was trending on Twitter, where fans would voice their thanks for FNAF and what it did to them. No, but I do think he did
retire
because of this controversy. Removes his name from the project so that he can still reap the rewards of being partnered and getting royalty from his IP. You want this movie in your game to be as successful as possible. Similar to when the head of Hogwarts Legacy stepped down. Similar thing, you step down before you get canceled. You get to keep your same share of the pie and don't ruin the IP or bring the project down with your name. So FNAF will still continue. There's still going to be a movie and a game. That ends the 7-year underdog story of an indie game that blew up trending and didn't die there but kept going. There's a new cinematic for Pokemon Unite, the weird spin-off that's like a League of Legends clone, but also a release date was announced. It's just said to be coming in July and then on mobile in September. This game looks so weird to me because it still looks like one of those Chinese apps that use like Nintendo and Pokemon characters but somehow actually have good animation and effects. Pokemon League of Legends, still very, very weird thing to say, but it's such an easy, good idea. This is a partnership with Tencent. If you don't know who they are the biggest video game company. Doesn't mean that they're the biggest company that makes the best games. It just means that they bought into literally every other gaming company pretty much. Most notably buying a majority share into Epic Games. Looking like Lucario is the flagship Pokemon in this trailer. But like Lucario will never be balling, so it doesn't even with all the skins and all the different Pokemon they could add. This game is gonna make a hell of a lot of money, that's for sure. It's really just copy and paste MOBA. I don't know, I never played League of Legends. I have a life. Yeah, E3 is done, but Summer of Gaming continues. And as Gabe Newell on the PC Gaming Show promoted very boringly, the Steam Next Fest is happening right now, which is really similar to the Xbox event that happened earlier this week. That basically is just a bunch of demos put out. Try out a bunch of indie games, go wild with them demos. The show is a 2-hour showcase with games and talking with the developers, and if there's anything that you think looks cool, you can play the demo now on the Steam Next Fest. So since there was not really a way to let people try out these games on a demo floor or anything like that, since there was no in-person E3 this year, if you have an Xbox or Steam, now you can try out dozens of demos. There was actually tons of cool indie games that were shown off at Summer Games Fest and E3 this year. I'm gonna grab a few dozen demos and screw around with them. Guys, just look at Grapple Hoops. Look at this game. This is everything I want from a video game. And while we're on the topic of crazy first-person parkour games, Bright Memory Infinite got a release trailer just saying it's coming out this year with new gameplay. Bright Memory Infinite was this crazy-ass looking first-person hack-and-slash shooter game. It left early access a year ago, and now they're saying it's coming out this year. From what I've been reading, the early access demo was amazing, just incredibly short. Well, the game is impressively made by just one person. Hopefully the full game will be longer, but I'm still liking what I'm seeing. It's very promising. First-person parkour games gotta be the best genre. Before we get into our next story, if you like this type of content, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up with gaming's biggest news stories. So our other post-E3 show that happened a few days ago was the Xbox Game Showcase Extended, where we got more in-depth conversations with devs that was shown off at the Xbox Bethesda show. There's a cool behind-the-scenes trailer for Hellblade 2. Ninja Theory's going all out for this game, getting satellite footage and going to Iceland to capture sounds and scenery to recreate it, and sending their actors to combat training so that the mocap recreations can look even better. And we get to the biggest reveal of the show, which is you can build your own Xbox controller like a little teddy bear. Xbox Design Labs return, and I'm on a mission to create the ugliest controller humanly possible. The service is up now, Xbox Design Lab. Even for you PC gamers, having this option to customize a controller is pretty nice. Tim Schafer gave a gameplay breakdown for Psychonauts 2. You fight doubts and regrets now as enemies. That's very Psychonauts. So yeah, tons of new gameplay shown off for those very excited for this game that have been waiting for years and years. Okay, this game actually looks beautiful, and the style really comes to life with modern technology. It's teased that you're gonna learn a lot more about Raz and his family in this game. Anacrusis, the alien Left 4 Dead clone. This game I was completely uninterested, shown in the Xbox showcase. We already have Back 4 Blood. Now we just have Left 4 Dead, but with aliens. Even the animations with how they swarm around you look so Left 4 Dead. But some of the mechanics were talked about, touting about procedural generation, not just with the maps, but difficulty of scaling and throwing different specials at you and changing different perks you get. Because you find perks in this game, which you can share with your teammates if they're scrubs. At least it's something a little more than Alien Left 4 Dead, like I wrote it off to be when I first seen this game. And to build up hype for A Plague Tale Requiem, A Plague Tale Innocence, the first game in the series, will be available July 6th, optimized for Series X in 4K 60 FPS. And I never even heard of this series, but rats? We got more details about Age 4. The most notable thing being that the Council has had a lot of impact on this game. The Council being a number of players dedicated to Age of Empires that the devs are really making this game for. A notable example being that they were almost going to cut naval combat until the Council stepped in and said, yeah, we don't use this all the time. You need those ship battles. And to continue the hype train, Age 2 is getting DLC in August, August, which you get for free if you pre-order H4. And H3 has an African DLC in the works, but nothing to show yet. I'm mainly excited for Forza Horizon 5. Those custom levels are so cool. In this showcase, we found out that you can even change what will give you points and make team games and stuff like that, really giving the player full control over the rule set. I never thought I would be excited for a Forza game, but here I am. Some tidbits about Battlefield 2042 got talked about. There's gonna be 128 players in a game playing on Xbox Series X, making the battlefield even more hectic. Land, sea, and air. All the classic game modes return. 128 players. There's a new Sea of Thieves trailer for the weird Jack Sparrow collaboration, and it's here we learn that Davy Jones actually copied Mufasa's technique. So check out the gameplay trailer if you're into Sea of Thieves. Maybe this will be the thing to get you back in the game if you dropped off. Expansion comes out June 22nd. There's another showcase on Sunday talking about how this weird collaboration between Rare and Disney came to be. So if you want even more behind the scenes from this already behind the scenes showcase, new details about Microsoft Flight Sim. There's labels now in the world if you like to explore the world and landmarks and stuff like that and what they do and details. It's like real life Google Maps. Also for your noobs that don't know how to fly. There's now onboarding flight lessons so you can actually learn how to play the game. After spending so much time indoors, I'm probably not going to see the world, so here we go. I'm going to live the isekai dream and explore the world through Microsoft Flight Sim. Now there's a new feature like co-flying to those landmark locations shown off, and the land anywhere feature where you can land anywhere. You don't need to think about going to an airport and stuff. So super accessible, lots of tutorials now as well, and the top Maverick crossover so you can go really fast and go into the danger zone. And for those of you that want your super crazy expensive Xbox peripheral like those crazy $400 steering wheels, there's gonna be an aviation flight stick soon for the Xbox, new big ass peripheral so you can really learn to fly. Shredder's got shown off, hell yeah, which is revealed to be an open world snowboarding game. It's got real-time lighting effects, you can change it, and this just looks like an all-around good time. This really is taking snowboarding games to the absolute peak. So lots of gameplay shown off, go check it out if you want Tony Hawk but in snow. Big behind the scenes breakdown for the Halo Infinite multiplayer trailer. Yeah, really nothing new was talked about here. You can go to haloinsider.com to try to get your hands on the demo coming this summer. I mean, I guess if you're cool enough, you gotta get accepted. Do you think I can get in? And the show under was a gameplay breakdown of Scarlet Nexus. Yay, new anime games. Although the main characters look pretty anime generic, these enemy designs are really out there and unique. Oh my god, look at these. So if you're hyped for this game, you want to see more behind the scenes stuff, check it out. This game comes out next Friday and it gives me very Astral Chain vibes, so I kind of want to check it out. Like kind of cyberpunk anime like Gantz and things like that. Yeah, tons of gameplay features breakdown from the progression to the brain field system where you can die in this mode, making you feel like a badass when you pull off things. I love cyberpunk anime, so hell yeah. And that's about all the behind the scenes stuff and details shown off at the Xbox Showcase Extended. And that basically brings a wrap to the Summer Games Fest. What a ride between E3 and Summer Games Fest. I was not expecting so many people to check out my E3 coverage. Thank you for checking that out. Our next big games event coverage will probably be Gamescom, where we can expect more details shown for games shown at E3. But that'll be it for this one. Lots of little stories, and we're finally done with E3 and Summer Games Fest. Thanks for watching all the coverage y'all just got dumped on. Bye bye.